إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. Respected brothers and sisters in Islam, dear listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. In actual sense, this lesson was supposed to be at the end of the Hijr calendar, which refers to the last day of the Islamic calendar. But most certainly, so many people are used to what is known as New Year. And today being 31st of December, or the 1st of January, I've decided to present this lesson in order that bi'idhnillahi tabarak wa ta'ala we can have some benefit. It has nothing to do with actually celebrating the occasion, because it's un-Islamic. Islamically, we have our Islamic calendar, which ends actually in the end of the last month of the Hijrah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our faith, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us on the right path and good knowledge, and that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala award us Jannah. Now, we have to think about that at least 1 year has passed within our lives. All we have to do is to think about this life. How fast time passes by. And we have to always get ready for the hereafter. As long as we are in this world, we are in a place of trial. So after the trial, finally you're seeking for the reward or the result. And the result will not only be in this world, but also in al-akhirah. So خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ طَالَ عُمُرُهُ وَحَسُنَ عَمَلُهُ, as one says, that the best among you is the one who lives long and purify his deeds. وَشَرُّكُمْ, and the worst among you is the one who lives and finally actually destroy his deeds or increase in doing bad deeds. We have to understand that every day, week, and month that passes by distance us from this dunya or from this world and get us more closer to akhirah or to the hereafter. So when you see people celebrating their birthday or New Year or whatever comes to add to their life, you have to understand that they are celebrating their closeness to the hereafter. And how can you be happy with the pass of time when you actually have nothing in reserve? That is going to be very important for you in the life that comes immediately after our death. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Al-Quran, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خَسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Allah swearing with time. He is the only one who has right to swear with anything. But we, as human, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, anyone who wants to swear should swear by Allah. So we would never say, I swear by the Quran, I swear by my mother, father, swear by any other creature. But we only swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can swear by any of His creatures, as He mentioned in the Quran, wal asr, swearing with time, wal layl, by the night, wal fajr, for the fajr period. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who has right to swear by anything but not human being. So in this verse, or in this surah, Al-Asr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing with time that every human being is in a loss. Every human being. Unless those who have 4 qualities. And these qualities, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned them. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, unless those who believe. To believe, not only to say, I believe in the existence of Allah, or I feel the presence of Allah in every part of my life, but rather you have to obey Allah. Al-Iman Billah, believing in Allah, His angels, believing in the messengers of Allah, believing in the hereafter, believing in the books of Allah, believing in Al-Qadr, whether it is good or bad. So we have to have the belief in full. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and anyone who believes will make sure that he obeys Allah. Obey Allah in that which Allah has instructed him to do, he does them. And whatever Allah forbids you, you abstain from them. So it's type of jihad you make with yourself. Al-Mujahidu man jahada nafsahu fi ta'atillah. The Mujahid is the one who fights, strives against himself, that he can worship Allah. Because evil is all around. And you have to fight them in order to worship Allah. So Allah is saying that every human being is in the loss unless those who have 4 qualities. Those who believe. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. And then while they believe, they have to put their belief into practice. Put them in action. That is why Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah says, had Allah not revealed any verse in the Quran beside this surah, that should be enough. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, unless those who believe, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and then they do good deeds. So you don't only say that I believe, and I know, and I read, but in actual sense, you don't put them into practice. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ. When you believe, and then you do good deeds, then you are fit enough to call other people to this religion of Al-Islam. Call yourself, call your children, call your wife, call anyone who is closer to you. Then you extend the call to those who are far away. And while calling them to Al-Islam, definitely there are bound to be difficulties. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And there's those who practice, deliver this message, exercise patience, but they always have to be on the truth. So the life that we live in this world is only a short time, as mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the ages or the span of life of my ummah will be within 60 and 80 in one hadith, and only few among them who will exceed. And the hadith that was extracted by Bukhari rahimahullah, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that when a human being attains the age of 60, Allah will tell the angels that, excuse him. What more strength has he to be able to worship Allah? He is now being like melting like stone. He was standing like a rock, human being. Like a rock, why? Because that time being a gentleman, strong man, within the ages of 20, 30s, 40s, then he started what? Melting like a snow. So at that time, your use becomes opposite. So Allah excuse the human being when he comes or he attains the age of 60. So there was one of Salihin who had a dream. And in that dream, he saw the dead. And the dead advised that actually we have regretted. Of course, in the sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that any human being who dies will regret. What is the regretting here? You will regret a day you lived without worshiping Allah. So the dead is regretting for missing those days that he didn't worship Allah. And then we the living, we are ignorant. Why ignorant? Ignorant about what is behind this life. So we live in our lives empty. Not worshiping Allah. Not getting closer to Allah. Not doing good deeds. So that we can get something that will help us in the hereafter. The only time we can see the importance of this is when we die. You die, you start seeing, why didn't I make so much salah? Praying. Sadaqah. Good deeds. That can benefit me in the hereafter. That is why in dua we say, Allahumma ja'al hayata ziyadatan li min kulli khair. Allah, make my life, every day that adds to my life, to increase my doing of good deeds. and my death to be a rescue and a relaxation from all sin. So that as long as you are strong, you have the body, you have the legs, you have all parts of this body, make sure that you use them in worshiping Allah. Your hands, your eyes, your legs, every part of your body. Making sure that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you can do that. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in a hadith, kalimatan, 2 words, khafifatan ala lisan, very, very light on the tongue, meaning that everyone can pronounce them. Habibatani li Rahman, well, they all are being loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thaqilatani fil mizan, and they are very heavy in the mizan, which is in the scale or on the scale. Meaning that these are words, you can say them very simple. They are more loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are very easy for you to say them. And finally, on the day of judgment, you are going to get a very great reward for saying them. And he said, Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. How many times do we say these words? How many times do we say these words? It's very, very difficult. Because Satan is working. And so, in order to succeed, is to fight Satan in everyday life. Make sure that you trade with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there. And He wants to see from you, hear from you. He knows you can do it because He has given you the capability. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Inna Allah ishtara min al-mu'mineen. Allah buy from the believers their money and their body. So why? The trade is that you strive for the sake of Allah. Striving for the sake of Allah, fight yourself, make sure that the evil in yourself is being fought. And make sure that any evil that comes closer to you, you fight that evil. Without fighting the evil, for sure, you cannot worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects of you. So brothers and sisters in Islam, let's try to be businessmen and sisters, businessmen and women, that we can do business with Allah. هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَىٰ تِجَارَةٍ تُنْجِيكُمْ مِنْ عَذَابٍ عَلِيمٍ. Allah is asking metaphorically, should I direct you to a commerce, to a business that will relieve you from a great punishment? تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. You believe in Allah and His Messenger. وَتُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ. And then you make jihad. You strive for the sake of Allah with your money and your body. So Allah first began with money because He knows money is more loving to the human being. It's very difficult. You see someone can be able to give something for the sake of Allah or use money to work for the sake of Allah. So Allah first started with saying what? With money and then your persons, yourself. Jihad. Praying is jihad. Fasting is jihad. Instruction unto righteousness and forbidding what is bad is jihad. Anything that you can do to strive in order to say that the word La ilaha illallah will be over any worse. And within your body you can make so much jihad. You have jihad of the tongue, jihad of the hands, jihad of the eyes, jihad of the feet, jihad of any part of the body. That is enough for you. Jihad of the tongue. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying that read the Quran. For while you read, Allah rewards you. And I'm not saying that Alif, Lam, Mim is a letter, but Alif is a letter, Lam is a letter, and Mim is a letter. Meaning that every letter that you read in the or from the Quran, Allah rewards you 10 times. So how much will you get when you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? Hello. Just check that and see how much profit you would get, benefit from reading the words of Allah. Not the book of Allah alone. Now we say book of, these are words of Allah. So you are saying them and Allah rewards you for every letter 10 hasanat. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us to understand that praying is jihad. Because you are using the body. every part of the body. When you say Allahu Akbar, you place everything behind you that is in this world. And you stand before the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, worshiping no one but Him. So brothers and sisters in Islam, make sure that every day that comes, that you live in this world, you become better than the day that have passed. People are celebrating the new year. They are happy that they have seen the new year, but they don't think about what they did in the past year. So you have to make muhasabah. You have to judge yourself and know, did I live last year a perfect life? No, I have some mistakes. Then you have to return to your Lord by repenting. And when you repent, Allah accepts you. Seek forgiveness of Allah, and then make the year that is coming, or that has come now, a better year than the one that had passed. You don't know if you are going to live for another 1 year. Only Allah knows. So you don't live in accordance with time. Live in accordance with your deeds. That every day I try to be better than yesterday. In that I can make jihad until I see my Lord, or I meet my Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says in the Quran, Ya qawmin, innama hadhihi al-hayati ad-dunya, innama hadhihi al-hayati ad-dunya mata'un, wa inna al-akhirata hiya darul qarar. Most certainly the life of this world is only a game and a pastime, but the hereafter is a place of dwell. Here is temporal, but in the hereafter is a place of dwell. Man amila sayyi'atan, anyone who does or commits a sin, a bad deed, fala yujza illa mithlaha, you will never receive unless just as you have committed. وَمَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ, and anyone who does good, whether be he a man or a woman, and he is a believer, فَأُولَٰئِكَ يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ يُرْزَقُونَ فِيهَا بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. These are the ones that are going to be admitted in Jannah. They are going to receive all the benefits. They are going to receive the riches. And then finally, they are in Jannah. You know, when Allah mentions sayyah, He said bad deed. That is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made us to understand in a hadith that when someone plans to do good, just having the intention in his heart and he's not being able to do that good, Allah already writes for you that you have done one good. And if you put that into practice, you now confirm doing the good, then Allah give you 10 times the rewards. And anyone who thinks of doing bad, nothing is written on him. And if he does that bad, it's only one that is written against him. And if he repents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very close. He will find Allah most forgiving, and Allah will now forgive him his sins, and Allah will admit him in His kingdom. So brothers and sisters, inshallah, this comes to the end of this very short episode. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enrich us with Iman, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us and make us people of Jannah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.